Alright, how y'all doing? Follow up to the breakthrough video. We're just all trying to do too much in our golf swing. And how I've found this out is by complete accident. So I'm going to show you how I found this out and how it basically helped me win 2 days running and shoot well under my handicap. Because finally the penny has dropped about what you can and cannot control in the golf swing. Took long enough, some might say. Some might say. Right, the Vgrip. Key is the Vgrip in the swing. So a good way of finding it is basically the club should be able to rest in your hand under your trigger finger with your thumb off, and the butt end of the club rests on the fleshy part of your hand, like thus. Then when you close it over, the V, which gives you about 2.5 to 3 knuckles, points up here on the 45. This hand here is doing this. Okay. Now, the observant ones amongst you will have noticed something there. That is fine when you're here. That is all on the 45. Right? Your hands cannot help but return. And eventually, once you start just even doing that, eventually you'll start to see that your body will react to your diagonal chop in motion. Now, here's where the master move is. It's not a move. It's something that will freak you out because, again, we cannot see in 3D. We are so 2D orientated. Me, you, 2D, straight lines. That's why this system, if you want to call it a system, it's not really a system. It's as old as Harry Barden. So that is a few years old, like hundreds of years old. Nothing's changed. The only thing that you can control is this. Now there's where conventional golf wants you. There's where Harry Varden was. Conventional golf wants you here. Harry Varden was here. Mo Norman was here. Mike Austin was here. Conventional golf wants you here. Modern teaching. Harry Varden wants you here. Mike Austin wants you here. And your whole golf swing wants you there. But you cannot grasp this. Why? Conventional golf wants you here. Harry Varden, Mike Austin, Mo Norman want you here. You're saying to yourself, Mike, that club face is wide open. How am I going to clear and square that to the ball? It's going to be wide open. I'm just going to block it or slice it off the planet. That face is wide open. Conventional golf says I've got to be here with the club face square. There's the club face square there. But Mike, that's wide open. And that's where you have lost before you have even begun. That open club face is not open. It is on the 45. Where you're setting up and where you're swinging is up here and you're coming down here on the 45, okay? Now, your shoulders are going to be slightly closed doing this because as soon as you activate the 45-degree angle, your shoulders are closed. And you're doing this chopping wood motion. Your body starts to react to that motion. And before you can say or do anything about it, conventional golf wants you here. Mike Austin, Harry Varden, Mo Norman, we're all here because the force from the top of the downswing, which is over in 0.25 or less of a second, 0.25 or less of a second, controls everything that happens. Well, it's uncontrollable. So that little move there squares you at impact because your body has to react to the club. And when it comes down, it gets to here, but your body squares the club. And now you have effortless power directed to the ball and on your flight line. Where's my ball? So your flight line is just that. Like the club comes in, hits the ball, and it will move it to the target. But your target's on that line. Here's your key. It's got to happen. So the smallest thing in golf that you've got to get your head round is forget conventional golf telling you that your setup's got to be here. It's actually got to be there. And you're going to say, that club looks open. I'm just going to just forget that and let it happen. Because remember, from the top of the swing, you're chopping, but you're squaring. Up to a balanced finish. And that has been the major breakthrough. Like, not just a little bit of a breakthrough. Because once you engage this into every shot, including your short game, everything suddenly squares up. Right? To the flight line. The body just reacts to the club the way it's supposed to. You're not manipulating it because you can't manipulate it. You've heard of Tiger and everyone saying, yeah, you can save the shot at the last second with your hands. No one's debating that. Because you just have this overriding thing that your hands can. But if you think about it, the least amount of saving anything with your hands gives you the most effective motion. Because any fine adjustments at that speed, you've got to be really, really good to save it consistently all the time to play your handicap. One day you'll be good, next day it'll be, where this is going. But if your hands are, and the illusion in golf is your hands just do that. I mean, everyone can do that. right? That everyone can do that. So why are you trying to do all sorts of things? Oh, how will I? You're trying everything, but all you've got to do is that. And I know it. Seriously, that is just you're saying to yourself, man, that's so simple. But it is, because the 45 is the key. And when you see yourself coming here, there's no way I'm going to be square. But your body's reacting to knowing that this is coming down here, and from waist high, you are square to target every time. This is what we've resulted from the gem. It is the gem, but we've put it on a weighted bar that swings about D4, so that we can just take this anywhere, warm up. I mean, if I want to work on this, I can hold it like that. Okay. If I want to work on my takeaway, I can hold it like that. Yeah. Not as effective though as holding it and doing it, because you get the throw. Right. So that's why we've ended up going here. Yes, it's great on a golf club, but you can't hit balls with it on a golf club. So that's why, rewind the videos, we invented a thing called the Clipper 45, which clips onto your golf club. You can swing with it on the golf club. It reflects the 45 on your body, reminding you that counterintuitively, you are actually just over the ball on the 45 with your hands on the 45, swinging on the 45, and you will magically propel that ball straight, long, effortless, and you will amaze yourself and others. Side note, when you start winning and taking the money in that, folk get a bit. Now, I could back that if I was withholding how I was doing it, but I'm not. I'm actually showing you guys how I'm doing it. So I resent the resentment of getting better and winning when I'm sharing how I'm doing it. If I was holding it off to myself, saying I know something you don't know, and winning all the money, I would get slightly miffed about it. But we are actually sharing this on YouTube. It's been around, I would say, since Harry Varden, innit? But for some reason, golf thought there was a better way, or I cannot understand why you wouldn't teach it like this. You tell me in the comments. The thing is, right, you would not do yourself out of a job as a coach teaching golf like this, because the skill and time in it can be assisted. Yeah. The funny thing is with this, and if you go to the range and 100% trust me on this, start doing what I've shown you, but don't initially worry about your setup, right? Or where you're aiming. Because this is the real freaky bit about it. The balls are going dead straight, and you haven't once went like, oh well, I better just check my alignment and ball position. What you'll find is, if the ball's back in your stance, it'll go lowish. If the ball's to the middle, it'll go, oh, aye, that's pretty good. If it goes in front of your stance, it's going quite high. So now you've just worked out two essential things from two moves. Ball flight, high and low, and straight. What more do you want? And then after that, bizarrely, once you start exploring the club face, if you want to hit a draw, just hit it slightly off the toe. You know, if you want to hit a cut, just hold your hands. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but once you do this enough, and you find that, yeah, if you just let it go, but if you kind of let it go, but you hold your hands, as in you just don't let them freely, like you're controlling how far this is going and how far, and this is the most brilliant thing about this. The type of shot you want to hit is dictated by not what happens here, right? Not what happens here with the length or anything. Actually, it's on the other side. How far are you going it? Are you just holding it off like that? Because if you are, it's going to go semi-low through the wind, either with a draw or a cut, depending on, right? And if you want to hit it higher, you're full release up. You know, it's going to go high. Right, so you've taken so much out the equation, and there is only 2 moves that you have full control over. The rest of it, the club dictates the body, and the body reacts to the club. Ernest Jones. One thing before I go, I know it's been a long video, but if you're at the range and you want to test the reaction thing, get yourself like a longish piece of, this is just a cut down poly bag, just attach it to the club, just with a bit of electrical tape, so it's like a streamer. Right, now, when you swing with a club, can't obviously do a full swing here to really show you, but I don't know if it would work on the, I've never tried on that, but we'll try it on it, so I can do a full swing in the house. Never tried it on the shortened version. Right, so if we put it on here, it becomes a streamer, so it's going to resist the air. I don't know if it'll hold on or not, but so when I'm in the house or at the range, this is how you would test my theory. So you're going up here, you're swinging down through. You're going up here, swinging down through. So eventually what you see happening is to keep that actually in motion without thinking about anything, you'll start to see it remain on plane all the way through, and it's better with a club because it's longer. But you'll see this trace through the air. So that's something Ernest Jones was a big believer in. The body just reacts to what your club's doing. Obviously, if you know where you're going with the club. And then you're thinking, wide open, it's never going to square. So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope the mics worked and the sound's been good. Thanks for subscribing. I don't know how many more of these videos I'm going to do. Things are happening, and we might, I don't know, we might just, it's really hard doing videos, and so sometimes you beat yourself up about it, and others are so keen to beat you up, it wears you down, and sometimes your enjoyment can flag slightly over stuff that you have no control over. You know, the army of one. Hey, Boo. Boo's hiding. Right, Boo. You coming up? Come on, Boo. You see it. Oh dear. Here's Boo. Look at that for a ball of fluff. Say hello. See? Hello. That's right. Boo's away. Right. Thanks for watching. And I can't say for sure if I'm going to keep this going or not. There are forces that are so negative, it's dragging me down. Really is. You try and do things to help others, and it's not reciprocated at all. If anything, you're put down, shot down. Is that like life? Pretty much. The old adage, one man army. That's kind of what it feels like. It does.